For this is your number one station for talk in the heart of Lagos, and it's good to be back here with you on the second half of Dailies today, where we look at stories that the papers are talking about, and you tell us what your opinion on those headlines are when you go to Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and use the hashtag Nigeria Info MCF. You can tell us what your opinion would be on those headlines. Remember to use the hashtag Nigeria Info MCF. Okay, my name is Wemimo Adewuni. I'm here with Jimi Disu today.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
How was Daily Digest yesterday, by the way? Because it looks like people were pumped up, waiting for you to come back.
Yeah, they were, and
you were also ready for them.
Unfortunately, it's not that I wasn't ready for them. It's not a competition or anything, but it's just unfortunate that. Sometimes when you do give your opinion, some people take it beyond, they get emotional. If somebody gives an opinion and you don't agree with it, just simply disagree with him.
Right.
But it went far beyond the necessary. And it lost focus of the whole argument because Jimi Disu is not the issue. The issue is how do we move our country forward. And what I ended up saying was that let's try to be less angry, less emotional, and more rational. You don't have to agree with everything. Life is sometimes even I'm wrong, you are wrong.
Yeah.
But the essence of the job is to stimulate discussion. People need to understand that, and so there's no need for various insinuations and so on and so forth. But
that's what Nigeria Info says. Let's talk.
Part of the job.
We invite you to talk.
Let's be more rational and less emotional in our thinking.
All right, Nigeria, if you're ready for the papers today, join us live on Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3, also on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. I'll be reading your comments there, so go ahead and drop them. All right, here, let's start with this story from the Vanguard newspaper today. EndSARS saga, a wake-up call to all, says Sanwo-Olu. Lagos, destiny of black race, says Aregbesola. That's a big one.
Yes, the headline, this headline sets me thinking that, the EndSARS saga is a wake-up call to all. And I ask myself, the issues that were so important that the EndSARS movement, wanted to highlight and so on and so forth, unfortunately, they've played into the hands of the opposite side. Because the issues have been pushed to the back burner, and now everybody is more interested in what happened at Lekki. It is important, yes, but what is more important is that the EndSARS movement, the way I perceived it, was supposed to be a marathon and not an event, meaning that it was supposed to be processed in such a way that one thing would lead to the other and to the other, and then maybe over 12 months, 15 months, whatever, we finally find ourselves in a place where we can put in a government, that will be answerable to all. But unfortunately, we've lost focus and steam. Okay, that's what I say about anger and emotions. We played right into the hands of the authorities. The focus now is on what happened at Lekki, who was shot, who wasn't shot. It is just as important, but the essence of it is almost being lost as we speak now. And I hope that the organizers will find a way to make sure that it's an ongoing process and not just an event that took place.
You've called on the organizers. They insist that there are no organizers. It's a movement of the people. So who speaks to whom now?
No, I don't think that there are no organizers. I think that there are no
maybe coordinators?
No, I think there are no organizers who want to make themselves visible. Okay? And it would be sad if all it was just for it to be an event and die there. But the opposition, in this case, government and politicians and so on, they're very crafty. And they have well laid out strategies to counter things like this. And they've succeeded. First of all, diverted their attention to violence. And then from violence, now you're spending so much time finding out who did what. But the major issues, not just the 5 or 5 that were raised, that should be in the focus of our discussion in continuation. Nobody is talking about those, at least in the majority.
We're even arguing at the Senate over how much the federal government should be paying to Lagos for reconstructing the things that we lost.
No, those
are important, but like you said,
these are diversionary issues. I would have thought that, for example, the National Assembly will have a joint session, closed door session, close to the public, in which they sit, tell themselves some home truths, look at themselves eye to eye, and then say to them, these are the following things we need to do so that we will respond to this wake-up call that Sanwo-Olu says. I haven't heard anything of that nature happen. And that's because I will never forget what Kayode Mogaji told me. He's a politician, an APC guy. And he said to me on air, right in the open there, that you'll be surprised that these politicians don't see these things the way you see it. Now it appears it has petered down. They've seen some accounts done this and done that. And it appears as if the EndSARS organizers didn't actually have a plan B to keep the struggle on. Remember, you see, we need to learn from history. When Mandela was jailed, all these fighters were jailed, the movement was still going on. It was still continuing. Even though there was a focus on free Mandela and so on and so forth, it was even tied into the issues. Unfortunately, we don't have that. And that I wish would happen because, to be honest with you, the issues that came up at the EndSARS, whatever, if we don't attend to them, they will attend to us.
Well, like someone brought my attention to on Twitter, in fact, I was arguing with him until I went to look it up again and I spoke with some of my colleagues. The IGP bans protests in Nigeria. I mean, he said that going forward, no protests, no EndSARS protests is allowed.
Look, if I'm going to plan a movement of this nature, there'll be a lot of protests that will not even demand people leaving their houses. But it's not. I'm not in that business now. So, but I would have put people off thought. There are many ways you don't. I had some professor in the United States said, "How do you protest if you hit the streets? If you don't hit the streets?" And I said there are various forms of protest in little doses here and there that can make you even more effective. It's like war. Sometimes you want to fight a country, you know that you cannot take them head on, then you go into guerrilla warfare. And that's what's happening, for example, in the Boko Haram, whatever. Over these years, it's been so difficult to put them down. It just demands critical thinking and planning. Okay? It's not every time that you hit the streets and block places. No.
Yeah.
There are loads of other strategies. Non-violence.
Emphasis on non-violence, please. Please, emphasis on non-violence.
America did not produce its first black president in Barack Obama by accident. And it was not an event. It was a marathon. And now they are at the verge of producing another potential black, because if this gentleman finishes his term, I'm sure Kamala Harris will want to step into his shoes. And by that time, she'll be well-grounded and whatever. So we need to learn that. Strategy. You don't have to hit it's not all the time that you hit the streets. There's so many things that you can do without violence, and that is not even against the law.
And you don't break the law.
You don't break the law.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, let me talk about, I got tired of my countdown. I mean, I'm guilty of this. I was counting down for the governor when he said he was going to fix Apapa traffic. But this story is here on the Vanguard newspaper. Apapa traffic chaos, Osinbajo Fashola Sanwo-Olu look away as traffic gridlock worsens. I mean, the president has given orders. The vice president has flown over. The governor has promised. The traffic is still there. In fact, getting worse.
Well, in the first instance, it's not just Apapa Oshodi, to be honest with you. It's all over Lagos. I mean, I caught hell yesterday just trying to nip down to Magodo and back. I caught a lot of flack. Took me a turnaround visit that should have taken about 1.5 hours. Took me 6 hours.
Wow.
Yes, yesterday.
Possibly because a number of roads are being fixed at the same time in Lagos, and we have closures.
Again, you see a complete lack of planning. Look at what happened on Saturday. In the midst of all this, you allow a marathon happen. Everywhere is a construction site. What this story is saying, if it is true, Osinbajo Fashola Sanwo-Olu look away, is that they have bound everybody to the Philistines. Now, I don't know if you have noticed, at a lot of junctions in Lagos now, you find people we refer to as urchins now controlling traffic with a stick in their hand.
Yeah.
I've noticed that in a lot of spots, and I said, this is another danger brewing. Okay, this is a very dangerous brewing. If you allow self-help in things like this, we are going to look. The honest to God truth. Let me be very honest on radio today. I have prepared my mind for a chaotic nation. When I say chaotic, I don't mean chaos in terms of fighting and whatever, but just that things are not working.
Wow.
The little things are not working. The enforcement is not working per se. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm afraid. I'm afraid for because you see, if we lose it one time, we are never given a second chance. If you lose your grip on governance and you lose try to put society together, you are never be given a second chance. It becomes status quo. We're heading slowly towards a confused state. And I think the problem actually lies, I must say, unfortunately, it lies in a weak center. When I say a weak center, I'm not talking of politically. I'm saying that there is no central hold on the
grip.
Or grip. The president is who he is, but I think Nigeria needs, a leader who would take a grip on the country, working with the governors and so on and so forth to make things happen.
Right. Now, let's move it up. This is, I would say, getting out of hand. I had a part of this on the first half of the Dailies today. Igbo will resist any attempt to arrest Abaribe over Kanu's bail. This is coming on the heels of the Northern, I think it's Arewa Consultative Forum, asking that Abaribe also be arrested because of the Ndume case.
This just shows how far...
What's going on?
This just it goes how... But remember, this statement is credited to
Masop, yes.
Okay, so it's not as if it's the Igbo nation that's saying that is what they would do. Be that as it may, with this kind of thing cropping up and also the Northern guys making statements about court matters, is a bad development. And no society can grow in the lawless, where every issue is looked at from a sentimental, tribal, or religious, whatever. The issue is very clear. If you stand bail for somebody and he jumps bail, you are held responsible.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, if somebody isn't doing his job in the case of Abaribe, why don't you take them to court?
Yeah.
Instead of issuing threats and say you will resist any attempt to, if Abaribe has to be arrested, he'll be arrested.
He will be arrested.
He's not any bigger than any Nigerian. I went to school with him. I went to university with him. He's a fine gentleman, I must quickly add, very fine gentleman. I went to school with him in the 70s. So if he must be arrested, he will be arrested. Nobody is above the law.
Why are we having this tribal, this person is from my tribe and so...
You see, the truth is, all these things are designed by the politicians and we fall for it. We keep falling for it. We keep falling for their various tactics. Like I said, look at the EndSARS issue. The major issues are not being discussed is the palliatives around it. That's just a manner of speaking that we keep looking at.
But I'm worried. Is it the politicians doing this? These are people. These are Nigerians making these statements.
You'll be surprised that if you call a full Masop meeting, majority don't even want this.
Yeah. Well,
but the way these things happen.
Yeah, I get you. Let's talk some sports.
If you don't know, let me teach you.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not teaching you. Yeah, difficult not to crack. So let me just leave you. I haven't recovered from the Ife and you didn't like this. So.
People keep rubbing it in all the time. All right, I remember someone saying, "You can do this." I said, "Oh yeah, come teach me corruption."
But please, it is important that we believe that the law must take its course.
It must. Whoever you are. Let's talk some sports. NFF must demand better performance from Raw, says the Minister of Youth and Sport Development, Sunday Dare.
Well, first of all, let me confess, I'm not a deep football person, and that is where I miss those two characters and made my life very easy when it comes to sports. Shegun Agbede and Charles Azodo. I miss having them around me wherever they are. I wish them all the best. But what bothers me is that, again, in the way we do all our things, is done in a haphazard manner. We want to quickly assemble a team that will win the World Cup now. It's not going to happen.
And we keep doing that over again.
We need to give ourselves time to grow, to develop, especially to develop our local resources. And I'm not too bothered whether we have a foreign coach or we have a Nigerian coach. As far as I'm concerned, we should go look for the best coach that we can afford. But we need to plan. We are not going to have a coach today and then think he's going to win the World Cup or the Africa Cup. I don't think that is going to happen.
With a team that he didn't grow himself.
My hands are up when it comes to sport, but I also look at the logical side of things. And I know that, because if you see what happened to Westerhoff, he grew those guys over time.
Yeah.
And football we must remember, is a team game. It's not like boxing where you go face the other opponent and beat the living daylights out of him. It is teamwork. And therefore, when a man makes a pass, he knows who will be there, your body language and so on and so forth. So I have not seen, and I hope this new sports minister will do just that. Let us have a 10-year plan that says that, okay, that might even say, look, we are not going for competition in the next 3 years. We want to develop, and I believe a lot in homegrown things.
The problem with having a 10-year plan is another minister comes in and develops his own plan. Everyone wants his own
God
plan.
bless you. God bless you. I don't believe in you want to have a match, you call somebody from Man, you call another one from what?
And when they're done, they go back.
When they're done, they go back. I think we can even develop a core team that might not even be that visible to the public. Have a core Nigerian team, maybe 6-7 players who are part of the team, and you send them to Europe for training. We need a large plan, a concrete plan, not all this haphazard. And then, of course, all these things are also stewed in all kinds of corrupt practices.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the most corrupt areas, apart from the oil industry, believe you me, is sports.
It's sport. I mean, FIFA is dragging one right now.
It's sports worldwide, not peculiar to Nigeria.
Let's talk about this very sad story here in the Punch newspaper. DCG immigration dies in Abuja hours after losing sister. I see 18 hours after his sister died in Niger State. He also died.
Yes. The reason everybody will be wondering, why. The reason why I brought this story to the fore is that in all the things that we do, we also have to look at the human angle. In the world that you live in today, you must brace yourself for eventualities, and you must train your mind and brace yourself for any bad news that can happen. In the years past, when like in the 60s and 70s, there was no social media, there was nothing like that. Yeah. There were things that were in place to help you. If somebody died, for example, they could keep it for you for a day or two, for a while.
Especially if you had maybe health challenges.
Yeah. I had somebody who saw the death of his daughter on the social media before. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So what it means is that you need to brace yourself for any eventualities. And then also you need to pay a premium on mental health. If you discover that you're somebody who has frailties, you can't handle these things, you better start seeing, outpatients, start seeing a psychiatrist. I don't know whether it'll be a psychiatrist or psychologist, one of the two, to help you beef up your
mental strength.
Your mental strength, because there is enough on a daily basis to make you go through grief. And I can jolly well imagine what happened. Because he said that he was getting ready to go for the funeral and he complained of dizziness, which means that he probably most likely had gone into a state of shock.
Sure.
So that's why we are highlighting this today. We grieve with the family, but also that you need to prepare yourself for the worst.
Yeah, you do.
More compelling so in a country like ours where every minute counts.
It does.
Life
is inevitable, but in Nigeria, it's even more so.
Every minute counts. Every minute you are breathing, whether you are in bed, sleeping, or you are on the road.
Anything could happen.
Country of stray bullets, a country of stray arrows, a country of all kinds of things. Even the local one put something in a horn and blow it, and a country of left pockets.
A country of Awayawa.
And
Babawas.
Yeah, every time, and then we have all these devices that put us on edge. Every time my phone rings, especially if it's from somebody that I know, like family and so on and so forth, I'm always on the edge as if to say, so
what happened?
So really, it sounds like a joke now. We're trying to make light out of it, but it can jolly well make the difference between your being alive and well and also dying should you hear something that involves grief. That is why for some people don't understand. Some people say, you're very lucky you can leave the country, They forget that your body will leave the country, but your mind will be here.
Right.
And you'll be worse off. I can assure you, if you leave your country at a time of crisis, your body will be in Europe, America, wherever it is, safely tucked in there. But your mind will permanently be here. Do you notice your friends who are abroad, when they call you, they want to debrief you for close to 2 to 3 hours.
Right.
Because their mind is here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I get you. Let's see this one also from the Punch. Ndume, his stories everywhere. Ndume spends second night in prison, appeals remand. And there, he has a thing with the judiciary. You can appeal.
You can appeal.
You can appeal.
I know that tactics, it will go on appeal. During the appeal, he will ask for bail.
And then they keep dragging the appeal.
If he's lucky, the court will give him bail. Once they give him bail, he is on autopilot. For the next 5 years, the case will be going back and forth until they can grab me. You know, that's why we should always do things. And I'm glad his lawyers have done this rather than make it political.
Yeah.
Okay, go to the appeal court, apply for bail. He'll most likely get bail at the appeal court if he's lucky. And then he can buy time and begin to hunt, either to hunt for Ndume, for Mena, or look for how much was it now? The 500 million naira bail bond, because he has an option. Maybe once he's out of prison, he'll be able to gather his resources and whatever and pay off for all you know, the suspect himself can send him the 500 million. So that's all no vex.
Let me just pay the money and let's
pay them their money and let them
resolve it. End of discussion.
End of.
Let me say hello to all YouTube streamers. I see you all and I see your comment. A healthy conversation going on there back and forth. You guys are creating a community there and I'm loving it. Thank you all for being there. And also on Facebook, we see you all there also live watching the show. All right, let's talk about this story from the Punch. Also, federal government may ban tankers above 10 years and enforce load capacity. I can't wait to see it.
This headline has a word that I find offensive. And when I say offensive, I'm just joking. You know, that may. It's not may. They should. They should. In fact, the Lagos State government should take the initiative and put in strict measures for vehicles that are used to convey goods. Because at times, Adewuni Patrick was here last week, and he said one disaster that we had, I think it was on Tuesday last week or whatever, it was a company that is notorious for overloading his vehicle. And therefore the vehicle in not more than one case.
I was listening to you. Yes, yeah, I listened to that show.
Yes. So, and then it says, so are you saying federal government may enforce load capacity? It's not may, they should enforce. And I thought when I was young, we had something, I've forgotten what it's called, some kind of bay where you drive the car, you drive the lorry onto this machine and it determines the weight and so on before you move on.
Yeah.
We need to bring that in. We also might need to, create time. I think it was during Muritala's period. Trailers were not allowed during the day.
Yeah, we've done, hasn't Lagos State government done that before? I mean, some years ago, say you can only move at night. There was no enforcement.
But nobody enforces
There was no
anything.
enforcement.
Yes. And by the way, talking of enforcement, I hear that the cars that were seized, some of them have been auctioned. The owners also turned up for the auction. And I was telling my
Wow.
I was telling my good friend Horace this morning, we were discussing, and I was telling him that Horace, I should say, arrange go inside that matter. He said he agreed so likewise. What we need to do to enforce discipline is we should crush the vehicle.
No, I don't think so.
No, we should crush it.
I think that would amount to waste.
Well, so be it. Look, listen. A country must have laws and practices that would make its own community better. It is not for nothing that they say in a place like Saudi Arabia, I'm not maybe not supporting that, but that they could cut off your hand and things like that. It's because there are peculiarities in different countries. This country needs an iron hand. Drive your Lamborghini on the wrong side of the road and let the man stand and see the car being crossed. And tell me if that won't send a message.
Don't you think that's too tough a penalty?
I don't think it's too tough a penalty.
Let me read some comments.
His life is not lost.
He said his life is lost. What if that's all of the means of survival? If that's the only car he has?
Go take an insurance policy against crushing of the car.
Oh my God. Now insurance companies will create a policy. I mean, you're business savvy. Let me read some comments from Facebook. You said yes, they should. They should do what? Okay, someone said, he's agreeing with you about crushing. That's Oladimeji Oluwasesan. Ayodele Ajayi says it's called Weybridge. That's
Wait,
stuff you're
yes.
talking
Who
about.
is that now?
Ayodele Ajayi.
I owe him a bottle of wine. You should send me his address.
Tunji Herbert says, hello. Oh, your audio. Sorry about that. Please check. Every other person can hear us. So check what's going on. Crushing is a wicked act, says Emilia Johnson Agosu. And let me see.
Emilio John, crushing is like, you need to be a responsible citizen. Why would you be driving a car on the wrong side of the road when
you're not
there's
drunk?
a 50%,
Are you drunk?
When there's a 50% chance that you can run into another person
and kill someone? I would say take.
We didn't say kill you. We said we'll take the car from you. You are not deserving of a car. And then when you now say it should be auctioned, all kinds of things come into it. All kinds of arranging, government magic. All
and
kinds
then
of
you get the car.
You get the car back. So
why don't we fine them? Make them pay heavy fines. I mean, the government gets money.
That has.
If they pay the fine,
see, you have to do things that are visible. I remember my good friend, retired Justice Adebayo, I think that's who he was. A car took what we call one way and hit him. He spent months in hospital.
But the unfortunate thing is that we don't find the elite being sanctioned. You see people who are going to the airport, they got escort vehicles, they're sending everyone away while driving.
That is why I say the turnaround of this country should involve people. Let's have a movement, for example, of young people who have their cameras and are standing by in volatile areas.
To catch them.
All you need to do is just video them as they are coming and publicly send it to government, and let's see what they will do.
And not do
you see, we need to spring into action without hitting the streets and singing solidarity songs. We need to spring. You have a group of youths that look every Saturday, every Sunday. These are the areas that we know it would usually happen. Okay, I have a camera in my car. It can capture any audio, any video or whatever, just like that.
Yeah, everyone needs
front
to have
and back.
one. Yeah,
everyone
needs to have one in a country like Nigeria.
Yes,
if possible, if you can live stream, it's even better.
Yes,
that can send a video to someone.
That's
Absolutely.
what I talk. We can do so many things.
I agree. Let me read you this comment from Love Day on Twitter, who says, Uncle Jimi, I have an unquenchable reckon with you. If you know how well or better the protesters should go about protesting. Many people are asking, say, Uncle Jimi, give us the 411. What's the arrangement?
Nobody would expect me to be saying that kind of
thing. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I don't own the station. I cannot put a lot of people here out of job.
Go talk
it's
to.
not the appropriate place to do such a thing. But what I'm saying is, look at the issue. For example, I said about the cars. Don't just keep howling at the government. Do something.
Yeah.
Take the videos. Put them in the social media, send them to the governor, and then see what he will do.
Tag. No. I said nothing.
I think that what I can contribute to the betterment of this country is what I do every morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a limit to which you can stretch me and so on and so forth on these things. But when I look at things around me, I just wonder why didn't we do it this way or that way or that way? Don't let's keep doing the same thing we've been doing for 30, 40 years and has produced no result. Let's think of something else.
All right, guys. I must say thank you to everybody. I'm trying to go to Facebook and read some of your comments because, wow, they're pouring in. Okay, they won't let you rest.
What are
they say use your blog. Okay, use your blog and tell us, Joe. Okay, that's demanding. Kehinde Okusoya says the best thing is to crush the cards. It's better than fine. Most people buy their way out of the fine.
I'm telling you.
And some people are still complaining about the they can't hear us clearly. I've told you, I've pointed that out to our tech team, and they're working on it. Please do bear with us. The app, the website, and your listenership should be better
but find time when you are less busy to read up the struggle in South Africa, read up the struggle in America, read up the struggle in India. And you get a lot of ways, non-violent ways by which you can continue to make life extremely difficult for your oppressors.
Okay, we absolutely need to go now. I'll say Google is your friend. Go read up. Thank you very much for coming, Jimi.
Okay, very much.
We're having more conversation after the hour. The news is coming up right now.
Talk Supreme Court basically said the only type of register the law recognizes is paper-based.
News.
The Senate has condemned the proposed siting of 20 projects in Lau local government area of Taraba.
Sports.
Goal number 2 for Liverpool, and the champions are ahead for the first time in this game. Seconds earlier, he dropped a clanger, and this time he's wiped.